What's going on, Chiefs Kingdom? We are happy you chose to join us all here on the Chiefs Report by Chat Sports. My name is Jace Andrews, and on today's show, we're going to be answering your questions today. And the first one, it's coming in from my guy, James Ramos, as he says, since we got defensive tackle Chris Jones 2 weeks ago back, how many sacks will he end up with at the end of the season? Well, James, first of all, I really appreciate you asking that question. Second of all, I think I'm shooting for around 15 sacks because right now he had a sack in his first game back. He had a sack in his second game back, and he's sitting at 2.5. My goal, or at least, again, my goal, not his goal, but I think he should get to around 15 sacks this year. He had 15.5 last year. I hope he can get to 15 without that game that he missed in the first week. I'm hoping 15, but that's kind of what I'm thinking. James, really appreciate you again. Can't thank you enough, man. Shad Jameson is the second question today, saying, should Kansas City trade for one of their many talented linebackers or cornerbacks for a wide receiver? That's a tough one. I don't think so, just for the simple fact that the defense has been so good and the offense has Patrick Mahomes. And Patrick Mahomes has been proven to make literally anybody he plays with look good. We've kind of seen it. Mecole Hardman with the Jets has looked terrible. And I understand there's some injury issues going on in terms of Juju Smith-Schuster, but he's looked terrible last year. And Mecole Hardman last year and Juju Smith-Schuster looked great last year with Kansas City. So I don't think it's worth it to go trade for a wide receiver right now, especially trading away a linebacker or a cornerback. I like the depth we have on the defense. Keep that there. Maybe save that for maybe a different time if we should need that at any point in time. Thank you, Shad. The next question coming in from Boomer Miller saying, can we trade Toney? Yeah, but I don't know if he's even needed at this point. It's kind of tough because, like, this past week, Chiefs had an amazing game on offense. Guess what? Toney caught one pass. I mean, I think he has potential. I would rather him be the punt returner, but Montrell Washington also looked freaking amazing. He'll be returning punts for the next 3 weeks with Richie James out, so I kind of like him there. I don't really know what the use is for with freaking Toney. I don't know if they would get anything back from him at this point, though, to be quite honest with you, with the way he's performed this season. So I doubt it. It's going to be maybe a CEH situation. Leave him in there, see what happens. The next question comes in from Mary's Little Lamb saying, will the Chiefs trade for a new backup QB after Blaine Gabbert stunk last week? Yeah, Mary, that was not good. Blaine Gabbert did look terrible. He looked bad. He had 2 interceptions. It was 3 or 5. 31 yards. The biggest number on that list, though, is not the 2 interceptions. It's the fact that his QBR was 1.6. That's just what? That's not here, near. That doesn't work at any form of football. I don't really understand what in the world was happening. Again, the interceptions, his fault or not, yeah, okay. There was one of them definitely wasn't his fault. The other one was tipped as well. You don't really like to see that. But at the same time, the QBR being 1.6, it just looks freaking terrible, bro. I just don't like it. I don't. It's crazy. Next question here coming in from Tony Fuentes saying, #Chiefs. I like Blaine Gabbert, but he's not the perfect QB2. Sorry to say. I know he could do better. I just don't see it in the future. I don't either, man. I really don't, because like they chose his backup QB for this year. So Blaine Gabbert will be the backup QB for this year. But overall, I think the Chiefs are going to look for a backup guy next year. But maybe they could trade for him. Maybe they could. Do you like that option? I don't know. It could be interesting. There's always backup QBs going around. So let me know. Would you trade for a backup QB? Type T for trade if you would. Type P for pass if you think that, it's going to be okay. Gabbert won't be in there much. And the hope is Mahomes will get hurt. You don't need Blaine Gabbert at all. T for trade if you think the Chiefs need to go for a backup QB. P for pass if you think they'll be all right. It'll be just fine. All right. I need your help. You see, I'm trying to grow my following on social media, and that starts with y'all. See, the best thing is I'm not just going to say, hey, go follow me, and we're not going to do anything. I'm offering up a shout-out. You see, if you follow me on Twitter, @Jace Andrews _ you can get a shout-out on a future show. The first 5 people to follow my Twitter after today's show, @Jace Andrews _ will get a shout-out on a future Chiefs Report show. Could be tomorrow, could be the next day. Either way, we're going to get you on a show in the upcoming future. The first 5 people to follow me, @Jace Andrews _ on Twitter, X, whatever the heck you want to call it. Either way, shoot me a follow. We're talking Chiefs on there every day. And if you want to talk more ball, my DMs are always open. Let's get back into the questions here with Jerome Bunker saying, what is the line for Jawan Taylor penalties over under 3? Yeah, it's not good. But here's the thing. And I am the first guy to say that Jawan Taylor pissed me the crap off on Sunday. He did. But at the same time, looking back at the footage, he hasn't really been doing much else than any other lineman have. Yeah, he was lining up a little bit off the line, but there was videos from Sunday Night Football where there was players lining up behind the line. I don't really understand what they're trying to go for there. I didn't really like it. That dude does hold a lot, though. So I don't know what's going on there. He did get, quote unquote, benched. He was a reset button, is what Andy Reid called it. We'll find out what that means by the end of the week. Because if he plays more this week, see. If he plays less this week, then it was, hey, you're kind of done, buddy. Nick Allegretti's going to get some playing time over you. Let's go to the next question here from Jackson Boswell saying, we really talk about getting wide receiver 1. I think we should do everything we can to get generational talent like Marvin Harrison Jr. Yeah, here's the problem, Jackson. You have to be the number 2 pick. That's kind of the facts. I don't think that Marvin Harrison will slide past number 3 at best. Because, yeah, Caleb Williams is going to be number 1. Caleb Williams will be number 1. That is very, very obvious. But I don't think it's going to be too much else behind that. I think Marvin Harrison will be that 2nd pick. So I'd like the idea, but the cost that would take, it's just not worth it. Part of me says that we should go and look for the potential backup replacement tight end. As I like Noah Gray, but there's some good tight ends in this draft. Maybe we can go after one of those. Let's go to the next question here from Dan Din. Is this Taylor Swift, Travis Kelce thing real or just for publicity? I'm in the middle, man. I'm in the middle because I think it could be real just for the simple fact that Taylor Swift was in the booth with Mama Kelce. You just don't go into Travis's booth, Travis's suite, without having some sort of general connection, actual connection with each other. That kind of just doesn't really make any sense to me. So I think overall they definitely have some sort of connection. I just don't know if they're kind of increasing that because of the publicity that's helping for both of them, or if maybe it's just we like each other. Let's see where this goes. That's kind of the reports that have been given out thus far. All right, before we get into more of your questions, it's time to tell you about Prize Picks. Now, Prize Picks is the easiest and most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports. As Prize Picks, it adds a ton of excitement to the sports viewing experience. Watch your progress updates in real time, win up to 25 times your entry amount, and cash out your winnings with quick scoring, settling, and withdrawals. With Prize Picks, it's just you against the numbers. Instead of battling thousands of other players, including pros and sharks, you pick more than or less than on 2 to 6 player stat projections. Go to prizepicks.com/CLNS and use code CLNS for a first deposit match of up to $100. Now, with the Chiefs coming up this Sunday, well, I decided to throw my hat in there, and I'm a more guy. I am. I'm definitely more. And the easiest more of my life was definitely Travis Kelce, a half a touchdown. You're kidding me. The dude's going to score one. He's literally Patrick Mahomes' favorite target. They're going to work him in some way. Heck, he may rush for one. I don't know. But he's going to get a touchdown. I'm taking more than that. All he has to do is score one, and that entry is automatically there. Patrick Mahomes, I'm going with more for his passing yards. I know he may be shut down a little bit by Sauce Gardner, but overall, I think he's got it. And then Garrett Wilson, 52.5 receiving yards. I'm taking the less because guess what? He's going to be covered by Trent McDuffie and L'Jarius Sneed. I don't think he's going to get more than 50 yards. I do. I think that's my hot take, and I think that one's going to win me a good amount. So I'm excited for that, but it's easy to play. You just pick two players. You pick more or less on the specific stat, and then boom, you press it, and you watch it in real time. Go to prizepicks.com/CLNS and use code CLNS for a first deposit match of up to $100. Shout out to Prize Picks. It's easy. It's daily fantasy sports made easy. All right, let's get back into the questions here. Curran Sayer says, do you think the Chiefs need Mike Evans? No, I don't think they need Mike Evans. I don't. I think he would be a good addition. Obviously, it's Mike Evans. But at the same time, I just don't think they need him. It's not necessarily we have to have Mike Evans to win a game. No, you don't. You don't. They just showed that last week, putting up 41 points without that. Now, I know it's the Bears. Their defense is bad. Their offense is bad. Everything is bad. Literally, Chicago's a dumpster fire right now. But either way, it doesn't matter. I don't think you need Mike Evans. Ultimate story there. So, but he would be a good addition. I'll say that. If an offer comes on the table that's good, take it. Why not? Next question coming in here from Nick Webeker saying, do you think Kansas City should take a QB in the next year's draft? Blaine is on a one-year deal, and it might not be a bad idea to get a backup for Mahomes on a rookie deal. That's exactly what I was saying, Nick. I got to be honest. We asked the question if you wanted to trade for one, but I kind of think just wait, hold it out. If Patrick Mahomes were to get hurt, you're going to have to trade for a quarterback anyway. You're not going to have Blaine Gabbert be your starter. Why not draft somebody next year? Now, I know it could put a bad taste in the mouth of Kansas City fans, could be a bad taste in the mouth of Patrick Mahomes, but if you just go to Patrick, he's an understanding guy, say, hey, man, we're going to draft somebody here in the 3rd, 4th, 5th round, whatever. It's a good quarterback class. You can get somebody decent in the 4th or 5th round, and he's just going to be the guy that's going to be our backup because we're tired of kind of rotating through. We had Chad Henne. Now you got Blaine Gabbert. You had Shane Buechele. Well, those guys haven't really worked out in terms of backup QBs. So why not try and get a guy on a rookie deal? It'd be cheap, it'd be easy, and who knows? Maybe that guy could turn into a really good quarterback. Patrick Mahomes sat his first year. You can see what happens. Plus, maybe you could trade him in the future. Let's go to the next question here coming in from my guy James Ramos saying, trade Jawan Taylor for a better right tackle, or you think we can get a wide receiver out of it? I don't think you're going to get a wide receiver out of Jawan Taylor unless it's somebody who is really, really desperate. But I wouldn't mind trading him for a better right tackle. The problem is the deal just doesn't work. They signed him for a good amount of money after he had a pretty good sized chunk of his career with Jacksonville. He looked good there. I don't really know what happening. Overall, he's blocking well on the times he doesn't get penalties. When he doesn't get penalties, it's awesome. This offensive line has been absolutely terrific. Problem is the penalty issue, and didn't really affect him last week. The week before, where he had a bunch of penalties, it also really didn't affect him too much. They won the game. So, I'm willing to give him a little bit of grace as long as the Chiefs are, still winning. As soon as he affects the way the game is played, and it's a bigger time, then we're going to start thinking about, all right, Nick Allegretti needs to come in here and start, or potential to trade for a right tackle. All right, Nick, let's go with your question here. He says, what do you expect from the wide receiver room for this week? Well, I expect good news because that's what we got on Sunday. I want some more of that coming up this Sunday as Rashee Rice, Sky Moore, and Justin Watson are the 3 guys I'm watching. They had the best game besides Travis Kelce, and overall, I think they could be potential wide receiver 2s. And I say 2s because that's what they performed like against the Bears. Rashee Rice, 7 targets, 5 receptions, 59 yards. Sky Moore had 42 yards. And Watson, 2 receptions for 51 yards. 25.5 yards per catch, anybody? That's Justin Watson. He looked really good. Sky has looked great over the past 2 weeks. Overall, I think it's just been a really, really nice run for these 3 guys. And I think these are the guys I'm watching. But out of the 3, who's the most important? Who are you watching? I want you to let me know in the comment section of today's video. Type RR if you think it's Rashee Rice. Type SM if you think it's Sky Moore. And type JW if you think it's Justin Watson. I want you to get in the comments as we're going to have this one at the very top. Let me know what you think. Type RR for Rashee Rice. Type SM for Sky Moore. And type JW for Justin Watson. Let's dive back into some questions. This one coming from Tony Fuentes saying, I'm happy for Travis Kelce. Not sure if he's actually dating Taylor Swift, but I'm happy for the guy. Yeah, I'm happy for him too. Overall, good news, bad news. If he's happy, I'm happy. He makes Chiefs Kingdom happy. And on top of it, it's putting the Chiefs more in the news than they already were. The next question coming from Shad Jameson. Do you think Thuney moves to left tackle next season? He played left tackle again last game. Yeah, he could. I don't think they're going to just because, he's a veteran type guy. You're not going to move him around that much. You want him in the spot that he's kind of stuck at. He could move him there, but I think that's more or less of just we'll kind of see. It's a flex move of possibly just happens to depend on what happens with the rest of the line. To be honest, Jawan Taylor, Nick Allegretti, the depth of that line, what happens, injuries. There's a lot of moving parts with that, so he could, but I don't think I'm going to bet on that every single game. All right, again, follow me at Jace Andrews _. Again, the first 5 people who follow me after this video, well, you're going to get a shout out on a future Chiefs Report show. We're going to put your Twitter name, your Twitter avatar, all on the Chiefs Report. So make sure you follow me at Jace Andrews _ to be on a future Chiefs Report, and make sure you're subscribed as well. Peace out.